Good morning, friends. I welcome you in semester second. First of all, I would like to explain the structure of semester second. Here, also, you have to study the six subject. Amongst these, business economics and cooperative banking is allotted to me. Business economics syllabus I am going to share with you very soon. But today we are started with our subject, that is cooperative banking. It is the paper number 4. When you started the semester first, you studied about the principle and practices of a banking, paper number 1, and second was the rural banking, which I taught you. But on the second semester you have to study the central bank and cooperative bank. Amongst these two, the cooperative bank is given to me. First, I would like to give you some instructions that whatever the notes I have given for the rural banking, that similarly useful for you for the cooperative banking. So this is my request to all of you, that to maintain that book, use that book again, and if there is any new content is added, I will give you some notes regarding it to you whenever it will be completed. Okay, so we started with the cooperative bank. First of all, I would like to explain what is the cooperative bank. Cooperation म्हणजेच काय तर सहकार, means these banks are established for helping each other. It is not like a commercial bank that which is set up for the profit maximizations only. You know, the India is the agrarian economy, and for the agricultural finance the cooperative bank was established. The main object of the cooperative bank is to provide the finance for the agriculture and rural development. In my earlier lecture of the rural banking, we studied about which are the banks are mostly involved into the cooperative banking or the rural banking. The main object of them is to cooperate each other. They are not working for the sake of profit maximization only. Instead of that, they are engaged into providing the lowest rate. They are engaging to provide the lowest finance for the agriculture at the lowest rate of interest. So the cooperative bank, it has the ancient history from the 1904. On the today's lecture, we are going to discuss the syllabus of the cooperative banking. The structure, you know, the question, this paper is for the 100 marks. Amongst this, the 60 marks is given for the theoretical examination and 40 is given to the practical examination. That theoretical examination, whether it will be conducted as a descriptive or the MCQ, there is no any clarification given by the authority, but still whatever it may be, we will complete it by the two manners as well. With the help of MCQ, you can solve it with the help of MCQ as well as a descriptive. So the notes I will provided you in a descriptive manner. Let me start with our syllabus. The unit number first is related to the introduction to the cooperative banking. Which are the types of cooperative bank and what is the meaning of cooperative bank? Just you have to clear in the chapter number first. First we have to study the origin and evolution of the cooperative movement in India. हे कॉपरेशन हे भारतामध्ये कधी चालू झालं, त्याचं ओरिजिन काय, हाऊ इट इज डेव्हलप्ड, हाऊ इट इज इव्हॉल्युएटेड, दॅट विल बी recognized, that will be explained in the particular content, origin and evolution of cooperative movement. Next we started with the Manchester principles of the cooperation. Is very important, because whenever any institute is established, what is the principle they have to follow is called as the Manchester principles, which will give you the some directions and the transparency in your working style. Next we is talking about the review of cooperative laws in India. There are number of laws like Maharashtra Cooperative Act is there, Cooperative Act 1904 was there, 1912 was there, 1922 was there. Number of acts are there, and what are the, you can say, the amendments is done in the particular law as per the circumstances is we have to study in the particular content number 3 is related to the review of cooperative law in India. Next we have to think about the role of cooperative bank. That same question we studied into the rural banking, that role of rural banking in the rural development. Same like that here also you have to study the cooperative, because in the rural area most of the cooperative banks are engaged, because commercial banks are not entertained the people who are residing into rural area, because the rates of the commercial bank, you know, for the account opening as well as the rate of interest is very much high, and so that they are not willfully open the branches in the rural bank, but there are some restrictions given by the RBI. So one or the two branches are opened in the rural area, but they are not actively participated in the rural area. Then the cooperative bank is the main source in front of the rural community for the financial need, because you know in the ancient period the farmer was depend upon the indigenous bankers or the money lenders, means unorganized sector, for the फायनान्शियल असिस्टन्स. पूर्वी काय व्हायचं की बाबा बँका हे नव्हत्या, किंवा बँका असून सुद्धा प्रॉपर डॉक्युमेंटेशन नसल्यामुळं पीपल आर डिपेंड अपॉन द इंडिजियस बँकर्स ऑर द अनऑर्गनाइज सेक्टर फॉर प्रोव्हाइडिंग देम. हे सगळं आपण रुरल बँकिंगमध्ये शिकलेलोच होतो. आणि दे चार्ज ह्यूज रेट ऑफ इंटरेस्ट. ओके, ते खूप काय करतात तर जास्त रेट ऑफ इंटरेस्ट आहे, दे एक्सप्लॉइटिंग द farmers, and hence the cooperative bank is actively participated in the rural area. Then if you want to set up the any branch in the rural area or the cooperative society in the rural area, what is the principles? That principles are mentioned into Manchester Principles. That four content we have to study under the title of Introduction of Cooperative Banking, chapter number 1. The second is all about the structure of cooperative banking in India. What is the structure of cooperative credit? When you are talking about the taluka level, there is cooperative society. When you are talking about the district level, the district central cooperative bank is there. And when you are talking about the state cooperatives, the SCB is there. And whenever we are talking about this 3-tier structure of the cooperative, there is need of any regulatory authority. And that regulatory authority is liable to control them, regulate them, and provide funding to them. And hence, the apex authority like NABARD was established at that time. This all the structure is given in the particular paper, where we have to study what is the functions of PACS. PACS means the Primary Agriculture Cooperative Society. What is their rules, regulations. Next we are talking about what is the DCC. DCC is the District Central Cooperative Bank, which is working at the district level. What is the functions of that particular bank? What is the problem of that particular bank? And third one is the at the state level, State Cooperative Bank is the Apex Institute. State Cooperative Bank. Next we're talking about the multi-state cooperative bank. First of all, I would like to explain you what is the meaning of multi-state. Those who are working in a two or more than 2 states are called as the multi-state cooperative banks. These are explained into it. Next is all about the urban cooperative banks. Like की कसं होतं बऱ्याच वेळेस की cooperative bankanचा main motto असतो की to provide finance for the agriculture and rural development, isn't it? But whenever we talk about the people who are not engaged into agriculture activity, but they are middle class people or the low income group people who are engaged into the unorganized activity, like auto rickshaw driver is there, vegetable merchant is there, street vendors are there, hawkers are there. Means for those people there is need of some bank, because commercial bank are not entertaining some such types of low income group people. Then for those persons, the rate of interest should be low on the loan as well, and the small deposit should be accepted by that particular bank, and hence the urban cooperative banks started established. Okay, then the third point is all about the urban cooperative banks, their types and their growths. We are going to continue in the particular content. Next we all talk about the problem of dual control. Mind it, whenever we talk about the urban cooperative banks, it is under the title of cooperative, so the controlling authority is NABARD, but on the other hand it is engaged into the non-agricultural finance activity, then it is also guided by or the regulated by RBI. And when there is two controlled under the one roof, then some problems are arises. So we are going to study what is the problem of dual control for the NABARD, RBI and cooperative departments. So these are the second content. First is all about the introduction of the cooperative bank. Second is all about the structure of cooperative bank. Now we are going to start. The third concept is all about the cooperative credit in India. What is the cooperative credit? Cooperative credit is provided by the primary agriculture cooperative credit societies are there. It is mostly established into rural area. Next is the non-agriculture cooperative credit societies are there. Third one is the microfinance institutes. Nowadays, you studied it already in the rural banking. Nowadays, some groups are established for the ladies and they are getting the benefit of the small finance by the cooperative banks like DCCB or the packs of the particular area, and these are came under the title of self help group like बचत गट वगैरे ही जी कन्सेप्ट तुम्ही ऐकलेली आहे ना, इट इज रिलेटेड टू द कोऑपरेटिव्ह बँक. आणि मग कोऑपरेटिव्ह बँकां थ्रू ह्या सेल्फ हेल्प ग्रुपला मायक्रो फायनान्स मीन्स स्मॉल अमाऊंट लोन्स तिथं प्रोव्हाइड केले जातात. तर तो मुद्दा आपण बघितलेला आहे. मायक्रो फायनान्स इन्स्टिट्यूट इम्पॉर्टंट अँड ग्रोथ. अँड थर्ड वन इज ऑल अबाउट द सेल्फ हेल्प ग्रुप. सेल्फ हेल्प ग्रुप इट इज नथिंग बट द बचत गट ज्याला तुम्ही म्हणता. मग त्याचं क्लासिफिकेशन कसं आहे, त्याचे रिसेंट डायरेक्टिव्स कशा आहेत की बचत गट स्थापन करायचं असेल तर विच कन्सेप्ट यू हॅव टू फॉलो, हे सगळं तिथं त्यांनी दिलेलं आहे. त्यानंतर आपण बघतो की कमिटीज ऑन द कोऑपरेटिव्ह बँक. इट इज व्हेरी मच इम्पॉर्टंट फॉर यू बिकॉज कमिटी ऑन द कमिटी वैद्यनाथन कमिटी इज देअर, Kurian committee is there, 97 constitutional amendment is there, and the R. Gandhian committee is there. These are the 4 committee you have to study. What is the basic agenda behind to inclusion of such a committee reports in your particular syllabus? Because whenever you talk about the cooperative banks, some observation is to be done by that committee and they gave some suggestions regarding it, and that suggestions now act as the benefits for our rural community. So whatever the recommendation is given by Vaidyanathan committee is to be mentioned in the first content. Next is the Kurian committee is there. Third one is the 97th constitutional amendment is to be given, and fourth one is the R. Gandhian committee is to be done. For the cooperative banking paper, you can use the cooperative development book of the Phadke Prakashan, which is available in the library. You can approach to the library and borrow the cooperative development book of T.Y. Bicom under the publication of Phadke, where you will get the descriptive explanation of the particular syllabus, where you have to get from the for semester 5th and semester 2nd, both the year for the third both semester for the third year cooperative development is the compulsory paper. TY BCom ला cooperative development नावाचा हा विषय जो काही आहे तो कंपल्सरी आहे, आणि त्यामध्ये तुम्हाला ह्या सगळ्या नोट्स मिळणार आहेत. मी तर तुम्हाला नोट्स देतेच आहे, परंतु तरीसुद्धा फॉर युअर एक्स्ट्रा नॉलेज लायब्ररीमध्ये अप्रोच व्हा. TY BComचं cooperative development semester 5 and semester 6. I am again going to revise semester 5 and semester 6. Both the book you borrow from the library, you will see that if you see the index only, you will easily analyze that it is the part of our syllabus. So you can write it with the help of that book, as well as I am sharing the notes with you, you know. But the first instruction I would like to give you that use that rural banking book here, because त्यातला syllabus ह्यातला syllabus has somehow same आहे. So there is not need to write it again. Whatever we completed in the semester first, let it be. ते जे काही आहे ते you have to kept it as it is. Okay, whatever the new concept is added, that just you have to add in that particular notebook. So follow that notebook only, and that notebooks for your kind information guys, from your first year to the till last year, whatever the books you keep for the banking, you have to maintain it forever, because these banking papers include in your competitive examination. So त्या नोट्स तुम्हाला पुढं तुम्ही IBPS देणार असाल, तो पुढं जाऊन तुम्ही MPSC देणार असाल, तर ह्या सगळ्या गोष्टींचा तुम्हाला तिथं उपयोग होणार आहे. सो त्या नोट्स तुम्ही जपून ठेवायच्या आहेत. हँडरिटन नोट्स तयार ठेवा. किती जण लिहित आहेत काय, जे कोण लिहित नसतील, मी आता ह्यावेळेस तर आफ्टर कम्प्लिशन ऑफ 1 and 1 chapter I will give you the notes regarding chapter wise, and you have to submit it on the Google Classroom. With the help of that I can easily analyze who will writing the notes or not. तर ते कोण लिहितंय कोण नाही लिहितंय ते तर मला तिथं कळणारच आहे. आणि त्या पद्धतीनं तुम्हाला काय करायचं आहे, तर तुमची नोटबुक तिथं मेंटेन ठेवायची आहे. ही नोटबुक तुम्हाला कायमस्वरूपी उपयोगी पडणार आहे. सो इथं आपल्याला लक्षात घ्यायचं आहे की आहे तर रुरल बँकिंगच्याच नोटबुकमध्ये तुम्हाला हा कोऑपरेटिव्ह बँकिंगचा मुद्दा तिथं पुढं फॉरवर्ड करायचा आहे. तर in this semester also you have to study the 4th chapter. The chapter 1 is regarding to the introduction to the cooperative banking. Second is the structure of cooperative banking. Third is the credit cooperative in India. Fourth one is the committee on cooperative banking. That's it. That 4th chapter you have to study under the title of cooperative banking. So note down the syllabus on the page of on the first page of first page of your notebook. The syllabus of the cooperative banking it should be you should write it, because with the help of that you can easily conclude that की कुठला बाबा चॅप्टर कुठला कंटेंट शिकवायचा राहिला आहे किंवा काय. सो पहिल्या पानावर हा सिलेबस मला दिसलाच पाहिजे. आणि इट इज नॉट ॲप्लिकेबल फॉर द बँकिंग ओनली, इट इज ॲप्लिकेबल टू द ऑल टाईप्स ऑफ सिलेबस. की बाबा प्रत्येक वेळेस कुठलीही नोटबुक असो तुमची फर्स्ट पेजवर सिलेबस असणं गरजेचं आहे. त्यावरून तुम्हाला सुद्धा एक आयडिया येते की बाबा हे कशा पद्धतीनं कितीपर्यंत कव्हर झालेलं आहे. सो नोट डाऊन दॅट सिलेबस ऑन द फर्स्ट पेज ऑफ युअर नोटबुक अँड द रिमेनिंग पार्ट विल बी कंटिन्यू ऑन द नेक्स्ट लेक्चर. थँक्यू सो मच.